save, and oh my, Harry.
Matt, it's like we've gone on like some weird anime storyline progression. It's like Mouse Sports, they were looking so like weak back on Mirage, you know, it looked so meager. And then like piece by piece, Dexter, you know, like someone that they were just routinely trying to take advantage of back on Mirage. But now he's like one of the big dogs laying waste to Complexity. Mouse Sports coming alive and looking better and better as they're not just, you know, having that huge comeback and the momentum pushing them forward. But the fact that they are absolutely dominating Cole to open up this third map, you couldn't write this stuff, man. Like this like redemption arc for the Mouse Sports squad in this series within the context of it, and also what it means for these teams is just unreal. Mouse Sports, they want to go to Katowice, and if they keep this up, who knows? They might have snatched it away from Complexity right at the finish line.
That is heartbreaking. The worst, like, it would be amazing to see Mouse Sports in Katowice with this lineup, with the, you know, the honeymoon period that they're potentially in, especially. But for Cole, after a year of disappointments, not due to their own fault, just due to the annoying medical situation and Poison not being able to play with the team and stand-ins, and we know that the potential of this team has been held back by that. Well, finally, we get the roster back. We put them in a position to get to the main event, to show us what they've got against the very best in the world. And from 15-8, an easy game to close, perhaps. And they might go nowhere with it. Even with Poison, they may not get the chance to show us what they've got. That would be Heartbreak Hotel for Complexity. But Mouse Sports, they don't care what Complexity want. It's who's going to fight harder for the spot. And right now, Mousesports are showing up in every way, shape, and form. And that's a great shot for Rush. All the Deagle doing damage outside as well. BMAS beelining towards B. Flame. Oh, very close, but not getting any kills here. Still Cole sit a man up with a gun gifted to Rush, and config is lower as well.
Yeah, this is a scary round. You know, you've lost Robs early on. You're in a 4-on-5, and you've got no map control outside of Secret. So everything you're doing now has to be from this position. Going back outside, that could be a death sentence. And as you creep down here in towards B, you don't know the numbers for Cole. You don't know if they've read this. You're walking into real murky waters, and there's no shining light off in the distance to guide you. Config faking that decon door, trying to feign the idea that he's left and gone away.
Oh no!
Acor bailing out his friend with that kill onto Rush, but it has just grinded to a bit of an awkward halt here. Cole, they're still not sold on this idea of it being the B play. They're still paranoid that Mouse could try and head up these vents. That's not looking like the case, and now even they realize that. They start to rotate these pistols in. Config, he feeds the beast, and Blame is caught on the lurk. It's tipped back in the advantage of Mouse again. And now these two Cole players that were far away from the action are cut down as they try to rotate in. That was looking like it was going to be a complexity read at least, right? Maybe even a round to follow if they had their pieces in the right place. There's no accounting for these individuals. Frozen showing up, shutting down not just Config, but the flick back onto Blame on that wrap.
Yeah, whoever makes the call to just hold to stop for a second, and they wait, you know, 15, 20 seconds, but it's everything for Mousesports. It's the difference between, you know, walking into Config, prepared in the rafters in a really good position, to really Cole just kind of pushing in early on Mousesports' relaxation. JKS might find all the kills here, but he can't win the round, and he might just get backstabbed by BMAS. There it is. And Mousesports up to 7. Yeah, like they just stop, right? And Config, he gets spotted by Acor, and then he drops in down below. That's an awkward one.
Man. Is there no stopping Mouse right now? Poison, bringing the AWP back out. Come on, Poison, man. We want a bit more, right? If there ever was a time to show why Complexity waited for so damn long, it would be a round like this. But Robs has got no business in letting them show their talents. Dashes out into that A-bomb site. Poison's now up in heaven. They're just going to bypass him completely. They drop the vent, but Blame's already here. Trying to deny this lower rotate, and this AUG is just tearing through Mouse. This could be them on for a winner. Frozen will wrap him and get that late trade onto Blame F. Mouse looking like they want to be quick to act here and get into B while they've got this forward momentum. JKS dropped by the AWP, and it's down at the 2v2. Once again, a round that started off looking so good for Cole. Now, even odds in this retake, but with the bomb down, low HP on Rush, it's never going to be easy. You're relying on Mousesports doing something wrong, and they've not made many mistakes today. Just silence all across the map. Now as these smokes fade, with it comes the push into Frozen. That double peak, perfectly timed to put 8 on the board for Mouse. And it was a big question early on, like, you know, was this just like a strong start carrying off the momentum that Cole could try and build their way back into? Well, thus far, they've found absolutely nothing. And even these rounds where they've had these big advantages have still come up in favor of Mouse. They're looking so determined. And for Cole, maybe even deflated after how it all fell apart on Dust.
You got to think about that mental aspect, right? For Mousesports, they just did the impossible. You called it, Harry. You called it an impossible comeback, and I agreed. It still happened. They still did it. All that's going to do is pump you up. For Cole, they lost an impossible comeback, or to an impossible comeback. They gave away a game that should never be lost in any way, shape, or form. What's that going to do to your head? It's going to take the smartest person not to get down and out about that, or the best leader to pump your team up and continue going. And as we know, Blame is great at that. That's just such a tough task. And it feels like the scales might have finally been weighed in the favor of Mousesports. About time. Cole need to get outside of their heads right now. the bigger picture. Because Mousesports have no fear. Why would they?
Yeah, I mean, they were just in polar opposite scenarios as well. Like, from ours, it was nothing to lose, everything to gain, and they're gaining it. Whereas Cole, it was everything to lose, you know? They were so nearly there. And that might be their memory of Katowice. That might be how this event goes down in the history books, unless we see them switch it up and grind their way back in. And that's the kind of shots you would need to get you there. Config onto the AK,
nice.
Double up, and now the rest of the gang try and rush in as well. They do lose JKS at ramp. That is a huge window of opportunity for Maus.
The gamble lower.
Whoa.
Of course, the one round, the Maus don't take the ramp route to B when they get it. They go all the way around the world. And what also happens in the same round? Cole dropped 2 lower and a 3rd in secret as well. Rops is patrolling outside in the yard. He's come all the way in through hell. Now, timing is everything on Poison. Does he reaggress? Surely not with the scout, right? Oh, no. That's the kill. Rops has been gifted another frag, and now the jig is up. Now, Cole, no, this is a top hit. Rush has to get into position. He's dropped into the hut. He's in a great spot to maybe find this AWP. But if it misses another shot, the pistol's out. Acor wins his fight, and now back to the vent where they know these B players will have dropped in. Rops deals with the first. Blame on the long rotation up the secret stairs. Can't stop the plant, and surely can't stop save the round. Smoked off, no kit, 1-on-3. Mousesports stealing it out of nowhere.
Blame doing anything he can, but winning this round so unrealistic with the crossfire that's set up here between Squeaky and Vent. As Acor delivering a 9th to Maus, the perfect call, the perfect read, and if you're Blame, man, it must feel like Dexter's in your head. And that's so impressive, right? Having just joined this team, come over, barely even time for an introduction, and then you lead Mousesports on this incredible comeback. Now moving into this 3rd map, you're reading Blame F and the rest of Cole.
Yeah, you've absolutely got to give them a huge amount of credit, right? Like, obviously, we know these individuals have been massive for Mousesports to be in this position, looking at Acor's or looking at Rob's and what he unleashed back on Dust, but especially on these T sides right now, like, Dex has had every right call every time. Cole think they've read into things and pre-rotate and make an early move. Mousesports dodge it. And so, yeah, Dexter, huge value in this team right now. Let's hope that keeps up. Robs will finally get punished for a play out the vent. Tries to sneak through the door. It's a spray from Rush to find an opener, and that's something for Cole. But as we've known, 1 kill can mean nothing in the grand scheme of things. You got to get it over the line, and Mousesports are going to use this line of smokes to cross down towards Secret.
Yeah, Cole, they just want anything to break this momentum, right? Anything to stop Maus being this far ahead and make them play a little more respectfully. And this could be that round. This could be one of the turning points, potentially. Poison doubling up, and there's the crossfire from Rush in main. It's left onto BMAS with another 1v3. He was able to win the last one, but this time the odds are really stacked against him. The crossfire between Rafters and CT Vent is a very tricky one to navigate. Oh! Of Paul, not well timed. You wanted to flush Rush out into the open. Instead, Rush brings the fight to him.
Yeah, it's a Counter-Strike timing for you there, right? He knew Rush had to be in that corner, and, well, unlucky, we'll say. Either way, it's a nice round for Cole. It's about time, finding their 2nd. Poison, he saw the barrel of Acor flicking on top of Red, and that's why he flicks back up to scope on his position. Just that 1 millisecond of warning was enough for Poison, who gets 2 kills outside before he's traded by Dexter. But that still falls in the favor of Cole. And for Mousesports, you know, forget about it. Move on to the next round. You've got so many on this T side. You've won the half at a worst. And at best, well, there's many more to be found. Rob spraying the door, gets revenge onto Rush this time around. And I like this move for Mousesports. They keep throwing these smokes. Last round when they threw them, no one dropped B for Cole. It wasn't B, right? That was the right call because they've been burned so many times by the fakes into lower and top hits. And so Cole, again, don't really drop too much down B. JKS will go down the ramp, but he also returns back up to the top side. So right now, Frozen has so much room to do whatever he wants on B, sell this fake by throwing utility and open opening doors, and he's hoping that he can draw players down into that bottom site to give Mousesports A. Right now, they're not falling for it, but if Frozen keeps taking ground, he can make that call, and Mousesports will be assured that A will be heavily stacked.
Oh, they're walking into the double ramp setup, though. This is not something that Mowers should be accounting for. Now a triple ramp setup as Blame F's rotated in. These are not the kind of numbers you're going to expect at the ramp side. Mousesports. Oh, it's the double fake out. Dexter's even gotten into heaven. Complexity have got absolutely no idea that he can be here. Dexter has hit a perfect timing as they drop players down. Poison's hit a timing of his own. They've got from the heavens above, but it's Poison with the lineup. And now the orb retrieve. Dexter from the heavens rains down that death into the A site. There's 15 seconds. They need to get this bomb, or they need to get these kills. And Dexter arriving late to the party, cancelled out by Config. It's all onto Frozen. He's tasked with the impossible. There's the first, but through the wall is Poison, and it's 3 on the board for Cole as Poison will deliver.
Oh no, Mousesports, they could have just run out the door, Harry. They could have just said, screw it, Poison's behind us. Who cares? Dexter's out in the A site. That's like a hindsight round, right? Like, that's not even a bad play for Mouse. Poison just nails into the wall. Like, they're just trying to trade that kill. When A-Core comes off roof, everyone's going, he's in lobby. We need to trade that. We need to kill him. But really, in reality, they have the bomb indoor. They can just push into A. Dexter kills both A players, and they can just commit to the plant and deal with Poison later, but they get stuck. Going back to deal with him cost them the round, and now back-to-back rounds for Cole. They start believing again. Maybe the chance of 6.5, it's not perfect, but you take what you can get when elimination is on the line.
I don't think any comebacks off the cards. That's what I've learned, right? You know, Cole, all you need is a little bit of belief. Mousesports showed us that already. So close to finding one another. Doesn't know the Rops is this deep, and there he is, deleted at ramp. That's going to force the rotate out of Poison, but Rops is ahead of it. Oh, he caught him jumping down. All right, he was ahead of it, but you can't fall faster than bullets fly. VMAS with the opener in a B, but that pesky AWP is here again, and once more, it's delivering up the goods. Finally cancelled out by A-Core. In come the rotations, the cavalry arriving, and look at that, very aggressive from Config, only good for 1. And so these are the moments, right, you need Blame F to deliver. These are the moments he's often so good in. Playing these clutches, these 1v2s, the bomb's exiting out through ramp. Now this temporarily gives them a 1v1, but Blame isn't taking that chance. He's waiting for a bomb plant that's never going to happen, because that bomb is going up into heaven. And as you say it, Hugo, it's around the world and into this A site. Blame clueless as to what's going on.
That is an AU call right there, right? Like, that's a mega brain for Dexter. He's left the bomb here for Frozen just in case he died in heaven and you know, and lost it in no man's land. Now Frozen throws it down, tells Dexter to get the plant in, and Blame's going, wait, what? B's clear? That's just insulting, honestly, that call in the 2v1. To leave B when you have it for free, and Blame's just got to run. He's just got to hope. They are right above him, and he is dead man walking, dead man climbing. Frozen finishes it off, and a team ace for Mousesports to find their 10th. That is a beautiful call. That is amazing.
Yeah, and it must feel horrible for Blame. Like, you know how much effort this guy likes to put in. You know how much he's like known for watching these demos, for coming in prepared, being a very, very hard person to get ahead of. And, you know, if you're a guy like Carrigan who has this huge pedigree behind him, outsmarting someone like Blame, you know, maybe you can be a bit more forgiving. You know, Blame has someone who takes a lot of responsibility in leading this team, but it's Dexter, the brand new addition to Mousesports, in his head, rent-free, and leading Mousesports to a commanding lead on this third map. Katowice on the line, and they're looking destined for it. It's Blame F alive again to round out this one in a 1v4.
The saddest part about all of this is like, look at the scoreboard on Cole's side, right? Blame has 8 kills, Rush on 5, JKS 3, Config 6. Poison, he's got 17. He has been lights out with this AWP today. He has been incredible.
Also,
he was beasting on A-Core and Dust 2. Didn't matter.
Just a little note in this 1v4. It's another one where Blame's like, oh, they're going A. Well, actually, the bomb's down on B.
Yeah,
It's like,
I mean,
it's like every time they're gonna give you anything, they're gonna convince you that you've got it wrong.
Yeah.
And they're even holding for that A rotation, knowing that Blame has fallen for
the
it.
saddest part about all of that is like is how the game started with Mousesports so many rounds like faking out that B site. Cole would like over rotate lower, and then Mousesports would just run out the hut. You know, Robs would find this timing into the A site, and Mousesports would either come up the vent or they'd split main from outside. They have just been ahead of Cole in every single round of this game, it feels like. And Poison, there's nothing more he can do right now. He is just finding multi-kill after multi-kill and losing every single round. Damn. Orb's back outside. Blame's pushed. He's so great at playing these close positions. Dexter not clearing it. Blame holding for a second. Almost finds two. Acore with a fast flick. His fingers are quick, and they even kill the Orb in Garage as well to make matters worse. Surely, with the secret control, you would just drop B here. No. Mousesports walk into the Garage. They take the bomb even further into where no man has gone before. And JKS goes back to the lobby as he gets headshot in hell. Oh my dear Lord, this is it. 12-3 at the half. Nothing Config can do about it. And Mousesports